honestly backtesting NQ New York session for January 7th because I took a trade today and I realized like how good this actual setup was. And this is actually supposed this should have been my actual trade and I should not have been tripping. So the reason I call this trade a really good one because this the 730 reversal is one hell of a fucking I don't know bias that always happens. So my daily bias was that we were gonna make. Oh, holy shit! Fuck! I gotta get rid of that. Or else you guys are not gonna be able to see shit. Okay, so for NQ, we were already on a downtrend. As you can tell, we had a higher high, then we had a higher low, and then another higher low that was made yesterday. Scandal from this bearish for value gap right here on the daily, which already marked that price drawed out liquidity to the downside from here. So we already knew price was gonna go to the downside. So we had bad, well, necessarily bad news, but we were gonna go to the downside because of this. So if we go on the 4-hourly, is to be honest nothing to really check except this for value gap that was pretty dangerous because I'm pretty sure did this stop me out? I don't think so. 528. This I don't necessarily think this might have stopped me out, but could have. So overall, for hourly, we're consolidating for a little bit, and until this one closed up, then we were ready to get to the next one. The 1 hour we're consolidating as well with the 4-hourly downtrend finally. 15-minute consolidating, 5-minute consolidating. So when market opened right here, like 6:30 a.m. for NQ, pre-market was consolidating before that, and we had already noticed that market swept these highs right here and grabbed liquidity to the downside to keep going to the downtrend that initially was supposed to happen. The strategy I should have waited for and should have had the patience for was the 5-minute retracement, which I'm not gonna say always happens, but it always happens. So right here, we should have waited for this 5-minute fair value gap, and I should have waited for this 5-minute fair value gap to get retested instead of just opening up a trade because I was getting FOMO. I'm stupid. Okay. So market. So this would have been my initial wait for action was market to grab this liquidity spot, have a potential entry on just the fair value gap alone, which is not necessarily bad because you can use fair value gaps as entry, which is honestly normal. Stop loss should have been at somewhere where I decided where my money could be lost because of my gaining back because I would 1-2. So honestly, like if I would 1-2, I can get like a $600 to $700 loss. But like to be honest, who wants to have that? Okay. And I could have targeted previous lows, not on the 5-minute because they're gonna be fucking scoping out for like 2 hours. So we should have gone on the 1-hourly for that, which would have marked. I know I don't like to use the ray, but fuck it. Which would have been this first low right here, or honestly this one, or if you're smart, which clearly I'm not, you would have went to what we call a fair value gap, and you would have marked it out either the 50% to mark your TP, or the very top of a bullish for value gap to mark out your first TP, and as soon as that hits it, you would have gotten out, for example, because this still would have been a really good trade. This still would have been 1 of 4. So that would have been a really good entry if I had better emotions at the time, and I would have followed my overall bias on the 5-minute. So yeah, confluences would have been really fine. And honestly, if I'm checking EQ right now, before this, like we were dead sitting at EQ, and price was honestly going to reach for that. If I had put it any lower, like on the 1 minute as I'm out of entry, and I'll put it at this high instead, it touches EQ immediately, and we already have the slope to prove that. So let's mark out our confluences, because I like to just do this to mark out our actual strategy. So it's like I do this and then I text what confluences do I have. I have a 5 minute for value gap. I have a 5 minute breaker structure shortly after that right here, which right here. I also have a 5 minute breaker structure. Was it after this level gets hit, it becomes market structure shift. But for now, on the 1 minute, we do have a 1 minute market structure shift right here. Funny enough, same as the breaker structure. So yeah, and so we would have had a 4 hour fair value gap to target, and as well, what's it, a 1 hour low? Yep. Honestly, kind of same shit. We would have had a 1 hour low as well to target. Also, liquidity sweep right here on. Let me go to a 5 minute because I'd rather just mark out this. Yeah, and a 5 minute liquidity sweep. I feel like this is so unorganized. My brain just thinks in different patterns. This should have been the trade of today, but it's okay. We literally have like 298 years left of the year, and minus a couple because obviously market ain't open, and some days it's just gonna be untradeable, like yesterday.